Ow. Hello. Welcome. We're gonna get this all set up. It's gonna be great. Okay. Is that? That's not straight. Whee! My cat is crying, and I don't know why, and she sounds so sad when she cries, and it breaks my little heart. Okay. Good Lord. Can I get this to work? Yay. Okay. Hello. We are going to do some work. I have a bunch of work to do. I did a bunch of work right in a row before hopping on here. Always great. Let me just make sure that everything is set up. Okay. That'll kind of work, right? Yeah. All right. I have to set up the Pomodoro timer. It was correctly set up, and then I used it yesterday with some friends. Okay. We're going to do 25 minutes on, 5 minutes break. Let me know if you would like that to change at any point, but that tends to work for me. We'll do 4 25-minute sessions and then a 10-minute break. I'm going to be typing for the most part, so that will be the ASMR for this. And I think that's it. I should probably grab some water. Oh, I should light a candle. It's good to have a rhythm and routine or like a ritual, as was the buzzword a few years ago, to your space. And I also encourage that. And happy 420, everyone. I might not get to partake in the holidays, but that's okay. Because as somebody this morning was like joking about it on Twitter, and they were like, it kind of lost its appeal, like now that every day can be that day. Hi, why are you crying so much? Okay, do you want to say hi? Will that me? Okay, well that was Weem saying hi. You're being so weird. Of course, I am panicked about my cats all the time now. Okay, we're doing great. I have to write an email that I don't know why this email is stressing me out so much. It's like I have too many thoughts to put just one email out about it, but like I need to write the email, and then I need to set up my slides for tomorrow's workshop. So that's what's on my docket today, and I hope everyone enjoys, and this is fun and helpful and productive. Okay, let's get going. I wish I had more coffee, but I'm out of ice cubes. Okay, and start. This week's page yet. Are you kidding? Hi, Weem. Why are you so sad? Who's Conan O'Brien and why is she so sad? I know how days work. Oh, I was like, people don't talk. I know what it is. Oh, fun. Maybe later we can organize my heated rivalry clips folder. What a nightmare. What a nightmare I've created for myself in a fun way. Okay, let's see. Why did I think this was a bad email? Oh my God, I hate AI so much. Go away. I never want to activate AI. I need the computer that's listening to me to hear me. I never want AI to pop up. Go away. I'm smart. I can write. I like writing. Okay, sorry. Sorry for my fucking freak out. I fucking hate it. Okay. Hmm. See, this is so fucking annoying because, like, why is this not a blog? Mm-hmm. I'm with you, Weem. I know. I really wish you'd let me pick you up because it sounds like you want to be cuddled. I know. I'm sorry. Facilitators' confidence goes a long way. Facilitation makes us more resilient, creates a positive environment, and sets our group needs, making it easier for them to share their thoughts, get answers to important questions, and make better decisions overall. When we're planning for meetings or workshops, there's always one variable that we can't account for: what people are going to say. One secret thing, calm and centered planning for how we want people to contribute, which is why structuring our agendas with processes. Yay, it's break time. We made it to break. I wrote the whole email and now I'm just reading it back. I'm glad other people agree with my AI freak out that I kind of forgot I had. It was a make some noise clip. My YouTube Shorts algorithm is so strange. It makes me very happy that anyone has ever found me on YouTube because I can't find anyone on YouTube Shorts. Like YouTube is the algorithm that should know me best, and I actually take it very personally that it doesn't and constantly tries to send me down like alt-right pipelines and stuff because I'm like, I've been here since 2006. You know exactly what I'm looking for, and it's not this. Um, um, it is so funny to me how often boomers recommend to me to use AI. And I agree that it sucks that Canva is like AI. I will say paid Canva is one of my like only necessities for my business. You can do so much on it. But sometimes I forget how literal I am. Like I just forget. And so my friend this winter was like, "Can you Photoshop something for me? I need this done." And I was like, "I don't have Photoshop. I'm so sorry." And she was like, "You make graphics every day. I see you do it." And I was like, "Oh, I can do that on Canva for sure." I was like, well, sometimes it's very obvious the diagnosis that I missed as a child. Um, but whatever. It comes up occasionally. Um, does this have okay. Come to my workshop. Yeah, see, the algorithm knows what people want, and it's heated rivalry shorts, which is fine. I do technically have a second channel I could be putting other things on, but I don't want to. I like for people to experience the full scope of me on my channel, which is like not. I don't like to do the things that are like business. Yeah, it's funny. It is funny that Photoshop took over the word edit, especially because Adobe had a really vested interest in making sure that did not happen. Um, because if it did happen, it could become like an uncopyrightable thing. And then Adobe has just continued to make its product worse and worse and worse over the years. And like, obviously, we have found out things that were happening that were not great during kind of like the tech era that everybody wishes they had worked for tech companies in. Back when their California campuses were like, you can get a massage and there's daycare, and like we actually do understand what goes into creating positive work environments because we did it for several years. And then that Steve Jobs email got sent that was like to Adobe that was like, I see you're recruiting people from Apple. Let me know if our arrangement needs to change. And that's how it came out that there was like a racket in Silicon Valley and they were keeping wages suppressed by not poaching people from each other. And that was a huge lawsuit. And that is somewhat covered in the Blackberry movie, which is a good movie. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't watch it again necessarily, but I thought the performance was really good. And I think tech is evil, and we should talk more about evil tech. And like the ways that these companies did things that really screwed everybody over. Somebody somebody the other day, I did a hello, glad to have you here. We've 1 minute left before I have to go back to work, or we're all going back to work. I made a video being like, these are the millennial things in heated rivalry. And I knew that that one was going to get a lot of people being like, you missed this. But somebody was like, when's the last time anyone's actually seen a BlackBerry? And I still have mine. It is so like the sides are so worn, but like, look at this beautiful phone that fits in your hand and women can use it one-handed without like fucking themselves up. It's great. I loved this. This was my like first like grown-up phone, and I got it. I think freshman year of college was my dad's hand-me-down. Oh my god, this had the like little the tactileness of the scrolly wheel. I just want to play Breakout right now. Everybody say thanks, Steve Wozniak, for creating Breakout. Did you know that the co-founder of Apple also created the best game ever? That was my phone all through college. I did not get an iPhone until way later than my peers. And so I navigated New York City for the first 2 years I lived here with a fucking BlackBerry. And if there's one person who should have had Google Maps as soon as it was available, it was me. Oh no. Okay, break's over. Time to go back to work. Thank you all for being here and chatting. This is so fun. Okay, yay. Let's be productive. Checking processes. Assured, poised. Hi, why are you crying so much? I love you and I'm scared. I think you're okay. I think you just need attention. This feels like a busy email, and I don't want to spend more time on it. You know what's happening is that I'm not happy with this email, but it's like I don't know why. It's probably because I'm nervous, but it's fine. How to facilitate with confidence. Plus, you're invited to our participation workshop tomorrow. That's fuck it. We're just okay. We did it. Yeah, fork found in kitchen. Come to my workshop. Oh, God, I exhaust myself. But I don't. Do the locomotion with me. This is really stupid, but I really, I really want to create the like wicked poster. This doesn't make any sense. This guy's gonna be a little bit bigger, you know, because of forced perspective. This guy's also gonna be a little bit bigger. Oh my god. What's happening to me? at any given time, you know? There we go. Okay. Yay, it's break time. We made it to another break time. Congratulations, everybody. I sent an email and then had a mild panic attack. How did everyone else's session go? Oy. Sorry I missed saying goodbye to whoever was here. I will say like 25 minutes. I really do notice the extra 5 minutes when I'm not doing 20-minute session things, but that's okay. Oh yeah, got your laundry started. That's great. Why is my tripod doing this? It freaks me out when I see it. That's awesome. I need to do laundry tomorrow, but probably it will happen on Wednesday. I'm feeling very tense about my life right now, and I just want this workshop tomorrow to go well, and then I'll feel I don't know, I'll feel good. I'll feel ready. Um, once my slides are done and I kind of have more of an idea of like what needs to go on the whiteboards and stuff. I've done parts of this workshop a lot. Um, but I don't want to repeat anything because I don't want people to have repetitive experiences, even though I know it's a unique experience because this is about participation exclusively. But It's hard when you feel tension in other parts of your life to just, like, chill, like, not feel tension about this kinda stuff. Um, I had my final job interview for a job I really want this morning, and it went well, but there's no way for me to know if I got the job or not until they tell me, and the last few times, it's only been a few hours, and then they've, like, scheduled me for the next thing, and I don't think that's how this one's gonna be. I think it's gonna she said a few days. She also did at the end say, like, "I'll be doing your onboarding with this other," and I'm like, "I know that was probably a Freudian slip," and she just meant to say, "I'll be doing the onboarding." But then I went to get a tuna melt from my favorite place to get a tuna melt, which is not my favorite bagel place, but is my favorite bagel place with tuna melt. And I showed up and I had only ordered one and they had made an extra. So I got two tuna melts. So one's in the fridge. And it felt like a good sign, you know? They used the wrong cheese. So I got two of the thing I only paid one of. So that was really fun. And I'm not usually like, it's a sign, but it is. Yeah, honestly, yes, tune 'em out redemption. I I do feel like there are certain really tuna melt is like my here's the thing about tuna melt, it is my favorite sandwich, like, hands down, no doubt about it. Would I ever eat it on a date? No. Like, what a horrific premise. Like, I don't wanna make out with someone who just ate a tuna melt. I'm saying this, and I'm like, I made out with my ex all the time after eating tuna melts. Like, when you're in a relationship, I think it's different, actually, I take it back. But tuna melts are really, really good. Are they like a New York thing? I mean, like, everything is a New York thing, in my mind, but, like, now I'm like, tuna melts have gotta be tuna melt history. Oh, nope, Charleston, South Carolina. A cook accidentally dropped tuna salad onto a grilled cheese sandwich. Congratulations, South Carolina. Um, in a Woolworths in a department store. Okay, so there is Jewish heritage to the tuna melt. That's incredible. What a fun thing to find out. Um, okay, that's interesting. The thing is, if you don't like tuna, you're not gonna like it, you know. And I do think it really depends on like the structure and all of that. But like, I have always loved them. But there are two things about Heated Rivalry that I was like, so this is like a show made for me, huh? And like one of them was the lighter flicks at the opening, my podcast that is not debunked. It's not defunct anymore, but has not been revived in a while. It's fine. I can't long form video is really hard for me because the last time I recorded one, Boo Boo was here. And it's fine, and I'm just gonna have to move past it at a certain point, but I haven't yet. And the lighter flicks, I was like, oh, so me. And then the tuna melt, I think I wrote like a week after I watched the first one. The first time I watched, because I watched episodes 1 through 5 in one sitting. I wrote about my favorite tuna melts. And that has been a running theme on my Instagram, which people keep trying to follow and it's private. And I only have like 100 followers on there. Like, that is not a public account, but I do understand that the point of me making videos was to try to grow my Instagram following for stand up comedy. And instead, I got sidetracked. I will say, okay, the thing about the tuna melt cheese is that it should be a pretty mellow cheese. Um, and ideally, the tuna isn't hot. Like you want hot cheese but cold. It's a hard thing to do, but what I do when I make them at home is I just make a grilled cheese and then I put very cold tuna in it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I think if you're used to like herring salad, I don't know how much. The thing about America is that they love mayo, so like the mayo is really the thing that I've found to be people's kind of like I can or cannot do that. But tuna to me is like the least fishy fit. Like canned tuna is like a really unfishy fish. Um, so like the creaminess of the mayo and the cheese all kind of go together in that way. But you're also supposed to have a tomato on top to like cut it with the acidity. Oh, that's true. That's true. I guess like I'm thinking more like Northern European. I'm thinking of like the Swedes who just eat straight herring. Like, um, yeah. Yeah, because even like, I don't know, like American potato salad's marked by being mayo based and like German potato salad's like mustard based and stuff. Um I'm trying to think, do people like I don't know that I did canned tuna a lot in Ireland, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying to like yeah, I guess I did more chicken anyway, I'm supposed to be working now. But I would like to continue discussing all of our regional delicacies when it comes to fish because I think it's really interesting. And I didn't know until I went to a restaurant a few years ago just how much fish was part of Turkish cuisine, even though, like, that makes sense. They have a huge fucking coast. Um, and I was in Ireland when it was, yeah, that was a cool restaurant. One of the weirdest meals ever. Okay. Work time. Can you tell I don't want to do work? I'm ready for this. Ba-dum. I know at some point I did this. Is that still where it is in Zoom? Oh, this will be fun. This is good. Dee dee dee. Oh, is it now just straight up raise hand? Oy. This is why we check. Oh my God, yay, it's break time. We made it to break. Congratulations, everyone. What I'm realizing about my like refusal to do work right now is I don't want to. No, it's not that there aren't enough people signed up for the workshop. It's just that there are fewer than I had imagined. It's not even a bad number. It's just that I, in my head, was like, more people will come to this, but that's not true. You know why? It's 2 hours long. Like, I think that's the big problem. I lowered the price several times. It was probably set too high in the beginning. It was set to 2022 prices, you know. It was sliding scale, but no one messaged about it. So I think people just got deterred instead. But I'm excited to do it. It'll be a fun workshop. It'll be cool. I made several, like last week I kept trying to make videos about it and I kept either like rambling or just like bursting into tears because last week was really hard for me. And today I made like 3 videos right in a row and was like, great, with less than 24 hours left. Like sometimes it's just not ideal, you know? But that's okay. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good workshop. We're going to get so much done. And I'm making the slides for it right now. It's 2 hours, which is also like a good challenge for me in terms of timing and stuff. Like I'm used to doing short workshops where everything feels like kind of crammed in. Um, but I need ooh, I am also okay. Here's the thing about me with sushi and poke, to go back to our tuna conversation. Um, I fucking love really good sushi, really good poke. I my ex grew up in Hawaii, so I've been to Hawaii twice for visiting her family, and I dream about the poke from um, Foodland? Is that is that the name of the grocery store with the best poke? It was so good. We would just get poke and then go sit on the beach, and it was a dream. And sushi in New York is fine, and I know there's really good sushi, and people do omakase and blah blah blah. But like medium sushi, not that good. Like, now that I've had really good sushi, it's hard for me to go back and like by really good sushi, I do mean that every piece of sushi in Hawaii was like incredible. It was like the best thing I've ever tasted. Um, but I generally don't eat a lot of fish. I can't do strong fish taste. Even in like Caesar salad, if it's got like an actual anchovy on it, I'm like, no. Fish aftertaste really gets to me, which is why like raw fish doesn't have that. And I've always liked sushi, but then I had really good sushi, and I'm like, well, now everything compares to this, and you know what? It doesn't. It does not compare. So that's my 1-2 on sushi. I love it, but I can't do a lot of fish. I had my first scallop when I was at a restaurant in Ireland, and I had always thought I would like scallops, and I don't. Oh, thank you. I feel I feel blessed. Oh my God. Okay. Um, oh yeah, that's true. I was living in Portland when I took both of those trips, and Portland does have some like decent sushi, very good salmon. I'm not generally a salmon person. There was a really annoying ad that was on Hulu while I lived in Portland that was like, "We know our coho from our sockeye," and that still gets stuck in my head because if you have Hulu with ads, you're just gonna have whatever ad was there stuck in your head forever. Um, New York has a few places that say they fly it in fresh every day, which is also like the environmental waste is ridiculous. But it's never tasted as good. And I've gone to some good omakase here. But also like I'm not adventurous enough for an omakase. Like, what I want is like I can't really do like I'm Irish. I cannot do spice, and so that can really limit me. Um, but sushi's just so good, but so expensive for not being that filling. And so usually when I order takeout, I do I do a lot of falafel, honestly. I love takeout falafel, because I won't make falafel at home. And I do Chinese food because I grew up feeling like being an adult meant eating from, um, Chinese food containers in your home, you know? Um, oh, see, that's interesting. I find shellfish to be generally less fishy, but I hate lobster. I'm okay with crabs, but depending on the season. Cape Cod has good shit, but I'm just not a lobster person. Anyway, okay. Yay, work time. Chinese food is maybe my favorite, like Chinese American takeout. So good. And in Ireland, it's also very good. And you get prawn crackers. And now in Ireland, you can get a spice bag, which I had on my last trip there. And I was like, well, this is my favorite thing that's ever existed. And then I came home and was like, no one in New York does a spice bag. And then guess what? There's like one bar that does, and it is within walking distance of my house. So I've gotten a spice bag a few times now, and it's quite good. But they're like an American place that does spice bag. Like they're like a fusion place, but it's not like Chinese food plus spice bag. And really, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like curry, and it's like fried chicken, onions, peppers, and spiced fries with gravy. Like, but like the gravy is like the thick. Like America doesn't really have this style of gravy. Like chips and gravy over here is like not a thing, and it should be. But it's like a really, I don't know. I don't know how to describe a spice bag. But it has a sauce, and it's mostly fried chicken and fries with some like three vegetables thrown in there so people feel healthy. What I really miss about Irish takeout is the prawn crackers. And occasionally, even though I don't like fish, occasionally I will buy shrimp chips at my bodega. And my bodega guy loves me, and buys me Heinz baked beans whenever he can, because one time I bought a bottle of iced coffee that had Jimin on it. And he was like, "Oh, do you like BTS?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Jimin's my daughter's favorite." And then we talked about BTS for 10 minutes. No, chips and gravy is not a thing. Yeah, it's very close to poutine. It's very close to poutine, but like it's not the same gravy. The gravy is spiced in Ireland, and the UK. But I'm Irish, so I don't care about the UK. Um, Poutine's good. I do like poutine. I also grew up in Vermont, and so I had very good poutine. Um, and I went to Canada all the time. I feel so weird saying Vermont and then being like, which also gave me access to Canada, because I'm not doing work right now. I will do work in a minute. But I made a video really early on where I talked about like, so I made some comment about Canada. Somebody got very upset with me about like not respecting the fact that cottages in Canada are all called that. I'm like, okay. And then I said, like, I'm from Vermont. Like, it's I have Canadian, like, I have experience with Canada, and they were like, Vermont is so small compared to Canada, and I was like, yeah, I didn't say it was big. Like, what I said was I've spent a shit ton of time in Montreal and Owl's Head. Like, what do you want from me? But it spooked me, I guess, in terms of saying like Vermont is similar to Canada. Even though I didn't say that, I said the culture was similar and I had a lot of access to Canada. And my best friend growing up in Vermont was Canadian. So, also dealing with Canadian customers will give you a certain crash course. Because they all used to come down and spend money, because that was when the dollar was, good for that. Anyway, it's funny to have a Canadian be rude to you. It's kind of a unique experience. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like Canadian culture isn't entirely different, because it's very much like cold northern shit. You know what I mean? Like the stuff I was saying in that video was like they should do sugar on snow, and like I guess in Montreal that's called sugaring off, which I was like, is it, or are you just trying to get me to say something silly? Um and like skating on ponds and stuff. Like, I like, it's so funny because I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, there's no need for me to be defensive about it, but like, I have spent. That's true. I have spent like a wild amount of time for me in terms of like what I was doing in my life in Montreal, because I almost went to Miss Porter's for boarding school. So I thought I was going to live in Canada for like most of my high school years. That did not happen. Okay, great. See, I thought so too. Because sugar on snow is like not like, I know that it's called different. Like somebody called, like, yeah. Anyway, I taught my friend who now lives in Maine how to do it. Um, yeah, the thing about Canada is that when you're in Vermont, you're dealing with people from Quebec, and you can say that to people who are from outside of Quebec, and they kind of nod knowingly. But I dealt with a lot of people yelling at me in French because it's not called their social security number. It's called like the Canadian equivalent. And I'd have to, because they opened credit cards with me. So I'd have to call and like get this stuff. And they were always mad because I was asking them to enter how much money they made a year. And I'm like, you're the one opening a credit card, not me. So internet, yeah, it was fun. Anyway, I've talked for way too long. Okay, 20 minutes over social insurance. That's what it is. I'm like, is it your insurance number? I would just have to call a hotline, and then some random Canadian woman would pick up and say nothing, and I would just recite a number to her, and she knew why I was calling. And I was like, this is the weirdest system of all time. But like, also never open a credit card in a store. They are so predatory. Okay, 19 minutes of work. We can do this, and then we get a 10-minute break. And then maybe we'll do another cycle because I have so much more work to do and I don't want to do any of it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't mean anything's wrong with me. I don't know why my concentration is so shot around this. I don't have time to faff about. This workshop is happening tomorrow at 1. And yet my brain is like, la, la, la. So anyway, and break. That's what I was doing. Oh no, you know what it's in? It's conversation. Oh, my do not disturb. Yay! Oh, that's so exciting. Oh my God, amazing. Oh, my do not disturb was on and I wasn't getting notifications. Yay, I did it. I achieved my goal. I got 3 more people to sign up. Oh my God, incredible. Three, two, one. Break time. Congratulations, everyone. You made it to break. I hope everyone had good work. Ooh. That's I love reading back through the chat. We did it. That's a lot of work. If you've done the full cycle, it's 100 minutes of work that we've done together. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that cool? Um I might log off after this break and then I might be back later, but I have some like financial stuff that I have to sort through. Um but I'm really excited. I don't know how it's so funny. But yeah, I said I wanted 3 more signups and I got 3 more signups. Is one of those signups just for the recording? Yes, but that's okay. I think my hope is that 10 people will come tomorrow, at least. And then we'll be able to kind of have like a small group within the bigger group. Um, because I'd like to do a fishbowl, but I don't know how effective. I don't know, actually. Now I'm curious. I'm like, I don't know how effective a 3-person fishbowl is, but it's like 3 out of 10 people. It's like still a third. Um, so uh yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited. My like digital downloads aren't working, which is annoying, and I have to troubleshoot that on the back end. But I'm feeling more confident about the workshop. I'm feeling less confident that it's unique to stuff I've done with people in the past, but I also know that it's a unique experience and they're going to get more out of it and you can drill this home 18 million times. So that'll be good. And my sister is currently like, text me on my work phone. I'm like, no. It's so funny to not have her work phone number already. We worked together for 6 years. Somebody did a funny thing where we have like this is the deck that we currently sell. We've only had these in our warehouse for over 2 years now. And somebody who ordered the cards ordered the original deck and like the original deck, actually I have one. I will say the original deck's box I like way better. But what can you do? But the cards are literally worse. Like, um, they have worse names. They're harder to read. They have hieroglyphics on them. The back has like way more. It's like we call this the forehead space. And somebody submitted, and they're like, "I want this box." They ordered 10 of these boxes and one of these boxes, and I'm like, I genuinely cannot figure out why. Um, and I don't know how to phrase and ask that in a way that's not rude. So it's just going to remain a mystery. But we're just like so confused. And like Meg has a bunch of the V1, so she has to directly mail it from her house, which I think is funny. Anyway, um, I feel like I'm having like a very emotional day and I know why. It's because like I was keeping it together this morning really tight because I was like, I have to get through this interview. And now I'm through the interview and I just feel like shit. I'm having like a weird thing with a friend right now. I haven't been sleeping that well and I'm just like, I'm over it. I need to give myself credit for all the things I have gotten done today, but also just like, I'm so ready for life to be easy. I don't know that it'll happen but I want it for all of us. Um, the emotions do need to come out. I I cry frequently. And I cry easily. And for the last few months, it has really been I've really been just holding in grief every minute of every day. And that's part of why I'm kind of hoping I get a job outside of my apartment, not because I don't love it here, but because everything reminds me of Boo Boo and it's just really hard. Um, so that's been interesting to experience. I have felt like more emotionally regulated over the last 5 years than I've ever felt in my life before. And then this year has been so destabilizing. And like for every reason. Like I have not been doing well for like 2 years, 3 years when it comes to just, like, watching the world light itself on fire for no reason other than, like, 5 men to gain more money than they can ever do anything with in one lifetime. So that's already tough for me to deal with, but then But then I lost my favorite little thing. Sorry, Weem. It's not that you're not my favorite. It's just it was a different relationship, and you're still here. Um, so yeah, it's and I've never dealt with big grief as an adult in this way, and it has been reassuring in some ways. Like I had an aunt who had two diabetic cats that were like 20. And they passed within like a week of each other, and I remember so many people in my life like, in her family, in her friend group, like, a lot of them took it very seriously, and a lot of them kind of mocked her for, like, how much her cat, like, meant to her, um, and that has not been the experience at all. It has just been an outpour and so I'm like, "Oh, we have advanced in so many ways." Like, I've gotten a lot of really lovely support around it. I just, like, yeah, it's just been the worst thing. It's just been the worst thing I've ever gone through in my personal life in a really long time. My breakup took almost nothing out of me compared to this. Like the breakup was hard. It was weird. I had to like deal with a bunch of stuff that I had been suppressing for months on end, but it wasn't like this big of a grief. And I like I don't know, I feel like I've underreacted to a lot of things in my life that I thought would be bigger, and this feels like I'm reacting appropriately to my sadness, but I'm also just like, at any point of any day, I could just immediately start crying about my cat. So I'm trying to like not do that as often as I want to, purely because I need to get through the day in some capacity. And I hate that. I hate that. And I really fucked myself kind of the first month. I would make myself do work when I like couldn't do work. Like so I would just sit at my desk like catatonic. Um yeah, there's no peace. You're so right. There's no peace in losing her. I mean, there's peace for her. She was in pain, which is why I made the decision I made, but like God, it sucks. Like um hi Weem. And I'm also a big believer in the idea that like you really can't turn off one emotion without turning off all of your emotions. So in order to maintain my life as like a real functioning person, I just haven't been functioning in any way, shape, or form, basically. So it's made it really hard. Like I haven't wanted to do comedy. I've wanted to do long form video for like a really long time. I have not been able to do it, and I have not been able to record the podcast because like the last time I did, she was like on the desk the whole time. She's like meowing into the microphone. Um, and while I'm like so grateful I have all those clips of her, it's just really hard to sit in the same place and do something and like feel that absence really acutely. And on top of it, I'm annoyed that I haven't done the thing that I've wanted to do for a really long time. So like that's not great either. Um and there's so many things that I'm like, yeah, I should have had a Patreon with all of the watch alongs, for like months now. And there's no point in like beating myself up for things that I haven't done. But there's just a lot of grief compounding because there's other things that the grief has prevented me from being able to like follow through on. Like I still owe people a hands essay, which means in my head, because I'm like this, I can't write anything else because I need to write the hands essay before I write anything else. And like maybe I'll do that later. Probably not. Yeah, and I really do maintain that like as much as possible, try not to beat yourself up twice for the same thing. So like if you're struggling with something, don't add to your struggle by being like, you're a fucking idiot. But shit happens. You can't always be perfect. Ugh, I really want a burger. Maybe I will go take a walk and get a burger, and then I'll come back and do more work, and maybe I'll even do some work on live again. Maybe I'll even write the essay. I probably won't write the essay. I need to rehearse this workshop. Like I need to. Um, but yeah, I think knowing why you're not doing something is a great step towards figuring out how to allow yourself to do it with some ease, but it's really hard. It's really like my sister's favorite phrase to kind of like help us get past it was beatings will continue until morale improves. Like it's just not actually how you improve morale, is it? Last week my Monday morning prompt was I think it was like I can make my life easier this week by dot dot dot. And last week I did nothing that I was supposed to do because every day was just like, I have an interview, I have this. Um, one thing I can do today that will make my week easier is, and like that's a really nice centering question. And it's just one thing. Oh my God, we did it. We did a whole round of Pomodoro and a 10-minute break. Congratulations, everyone. That is rad. I'm really excited about these. I love doing these lives. I hope everyone else actually like enjoys them and they're useful and things like that. Cause I think I think they're so helpful for me. Like I just hope they're as helpful for other people. Because like I literally my phone addiction has just skyrocketed, which makes sense because now when I open my phone, there's like actual things happening. I'm not just lurking on other people's stuff. I'm like responding to people who are talking to me. But like, so like literally making myself put it down to do a live has been really helpful. Thank you for saying I deserve a break. That's really affirming, and I really appreciate it. Okay. Um, that's so true. That's a lovely way of putting it. I honestly, somebody, there was a film director, I think she's a French film director, and it's a shame I don't know her name off the top of my head. But she was talking about like, she feels very powerful because she's taken 2 hours of someone's life. Um, Ooh, that's so fun. I got a steam cleaner last year. I'm so glad these are helpful. Thank you so much for affirming that they are. I got a steam cleaner last year and it stopped working after like 2 times. And I was like, this thing seems weird. And I was going to return it, didn't, blah, blah, blah. And then I got a message like a week ago being like, those are recalled. Do not use it. I was like, oh, fuck. So but when it worked, it was amazing. So I kind of want to get one that's not recalled, like, but I need to do more research. I'm kind of famously bad at like either over researching something to the point that I don't buy something I really need for like 2 to 3 months, or doing absolutely no research, grabbing the first thing I see, and then being like, why isn't this high quality? And steam cleaners feel like that because like I've never like the only okay, I was gonna say I've never bought anything off TikTok shop. That's not true. I will buy the Tartelette tubing mascara when it's on really good sale on the TikTok shop because that shit's good. It's the only mascara I've used for like over a year, and I love it. And I'm so glad that people are now coming out with tubing mascaras because I don't wear makeup regularly. I say like, and I try not to wear makeup as often as possible. Basically, I wear it for workshops, and I've been wearing it like daily for these fucking job interviews, and it makes it like I don't like it. And I'm really grateful to my past self because I learned how to apply makeup really well. Like in high school and college, I was very into changing how I looked every single day. Um, so I know that I have the like correct tools. I have the hand skill. I know like how to line my eyes in a way that like I've figured out what looks good on me. Blah blah blah. But like I actively don't know how to square my like feminism with the makeup of it all. Um, so I try not to wear it as much as possible. I just like I don't know. It's the same thing in videos. Like I don't use filters. And that's because like I don't want to warp my own idea of what my face looks like. Like it's genuinely terrifying how easy it is to use filters in TikTok and stuff. Like even when I film in TikTok, it changes how I look, which is also weird because like your iPhone, this is not a conspiracy theory, this is like a real thing. Your iPhone exacerbates redness so that you think you look worse than you do. And they're doing that specifically so that you will buy more cosmetics. This is like an actual thing that the tech companies are doing. And so like it's weird because sometimes filters feel like, oh, they're just fixing the things that are, but like I was a little too old for Snapchat, so I never got into like taking a picture of myself with a filter on. And I feel like every time I see filtered photos of people, I'm just like, oh, that looks weird to me. Like, how does it not look weird to other people? And then I'm like, if you're used to looking at photos with filters on them, non-filtered photos look really extreme. Like, I've gotten several comments that are like about my skin, about my skincare, and it's just like, okay, what what's that going to do to me? Make me not go outside? Like, what do you want me to do? Hide away? Like, I've lived as a fat person my entire life. I genuinely don't know that there's anything that can break my spirit at this point. Like, babe, I was fat in the early 2000s. You're gonna have to try harder to hurt my feelings. Please don't try to hurt my feelings. But also, like, if you're mean enough to leave a comment about my face being red, like, all right, we can just move on from that one. So people, in general, it hasn't affected me. But it is fascinating, I think, especially when I scroll through TikTok, I'm like, no one has a bare face. It's very few people. And it's I don't know how to say this without coming across really mean. There are certain tells that immediately let me know that someone is not as progressive as they're trying to come across, and heavily altering their appearance is one of them. Also using any fat phobic language. Like there's a creator on TikTok currently getting canceled because he like did a collaboration with Starbucks to get free tickets to Coachella, which like, yeah, did you expect your audience not to have pushback on that? But he's like a big creator, but I've never liked his videos because he refers to himself as a big back in every single one of them. And it's just like, you're fat. Why are you being fat phobic? Why are you encouraging this fat phobic language? Like, just be better. And so him getting canceled and people being like, he doesn't have good politics. It's like, yeah, if you guys took fat phobia seriously, it'd be a lot easier for you to spot who has good and bad politic. Like, if you consider like if you consider yourself to be a moral progressive person and like actually leftist, that does include dismantling everything that comes along with capitalistic reinforcements of societal beauty standards, including fat phobia. But fat phobia tends to be left off as like, no, you can be fat phobic and still be a good person. And it's like, well, depending on your definition of good. Like, um, my best friend regularly asks, she's always been thin, she's been thin her entire life. We have completely opposite body types. And she straight up asks her dates if they date fat women because she's like and like what their relationship is to fat people on like date one or two. Cause she says my best friend is fat and I would never bring someone into my life who like wouldn't accept her. And I'm like, that is the nicest fucking thing that anyone does for me when I'm not there. Like, thank you. But she's like, yeah, it's for you. It's also for me. I don't want to hang out with someone who has those opinions. And I'm just like, right, right. Like, so yeah, it's one of those like final frontiers where like fat phobia is so ingrained in a way that people just don't take seriously. And it's seen as like a personal responsibility thing. And then you start listing all the reasons that somebody might be fat. And they're like, well, yeah, those are the exceptions. And it's like, and you don't know if that's true of any fat person. So you have to just apply it blanket to everyone until we move on. But making the world a more thoughtful place is my goal in life. So eventually I will facilitate stuff around fat politics that doesn't make me want to lose my mind, but not yet. We're building up to it. First I got to fix meetings. Hopefully I get this fucking job. I really want this fucking job. Yeah, it's like it's assuming the worst, and it's also just like I don't know. I don't walk around with. I think it's got to be so exhausting to walk around with a ton of cruelty in your heart. Like I will be the first one to say I'm overly judgmental. Like I get fucking mean. Like I have to check myself constantly. I'm like, hey, what? I think you're getting a little, but like it is incredible to just hear people be so casually cruel with how they interact with everything. And then they're like, the world sucks. And I'm like, well, I think the world sucks, but I think it has potential to get better. You think the world sucks and you're contributing to making it that way. Like, come on. Um, it is interesting. I don't know. I do think I have so many thoughts about this, but I do think millennials have genuinely created a kinder world because we were so ruthlessly bullied for like enjoying things. And like the way that bullying shifted over my high school and college career is really fascinating to me. Um and there is such a difference between being nice and being kind. As someone pointed out earlier, there's a difference between being polite and being kind. Um, somebody had a really good quote about that. Was that on Taskmaster? Where they were like, "What I will counterbalance is that." I think it was Game Changer. I think yeah, it's Jeremy on Oh God, okay, this is how my memory. It's Jeremy on Game Changer when he's being awful feels terrible. It does. Like, and I beat myself up for things that I said in the past. And one day, like I admitted one of those like long time things, that, it was the spin the wheel, one of Game Changer, and Jeremy said it. And he made a good point. That was one of the best episodes of Game Changer. I will get on a tangent about Game Changer if I keep talking about it. Fuck. What was the thing I was talking about? Yeah, fuck it. Let's talk about Game Changer. Dropout is really interesting to me because I don't I need it to be I need to like 30% more of what they're putting out in order to continue paying for it month to month. Cause like I got really into Dimension 20 when I was sick, and that was great. Oh, the niceness and kindness. Yeah, I think miserable people are miserable and they're trying to make everybody else miserable with them. You know what I mean? And like kind people are not always nice, but they're always kind. And I do not to bash the West Coast versus the East Coast, but I did find it really jarring to live on the West Coast where everybody is nice but not kind versus the East Coast where I feel like everybody is kind but not nice. Like people will change your tire on the side of the road in the East Coast, but they will yell at you for not knowing how to do it yourself. Whereas people on the West Coast will be like, "Oh man, that sucks," and like keep driving. You know, like I think that's the analogy someone used once, and I was like, "Yeah!" Like when I went to Portland, everybody was really nice, and they were giving us like lists of places to go and like all this stuff. And then I moved there, and everybody was like, "Oh, fucking transplants," and I was like, "Ah, why aren't you nice anymore?" And I was like, "You are nice, you're just not kind." There's a gruff kindness to the East Coast that I really enjoy. Um, and part of that is also like the literal, like, I mean, Oregon's different. I have a lot of nasty thoughts about Oregon that are not kind or nice. I did not like living in Portland, and I lived there for 4 years, so I feel very entitled to say that. I tried to make the best of it. I worked at a very cool place. I was going to gigs and stuff. It just wasn't for me, which is fine. I moved back to New York, and I've never regretted that for a single fucking second. Um, but we'll see. But yeah, game changer. Yeah, see, this the thing about America is I think that's actually true of so many cultures is like the sweetness on top is often covering up something very mean underneath. I think it is funny. There's a kind of like tropes now that exist around that. Like every quote unquote like everybody knows what bless your heart really means. And I'm like, I mean, sure. But like, do you? Like also what like I don't know, Minnesota nice is like my favorite kind of nice, I think. Which is also deeply Canadian, I would say. But also, like, Minnesota has such a funny history in terms of immigration and like how that state really came to form in terms of like modern American culture. Um, and a lot of it is like Eastern European, and like even like Middle East immigration happened, and still there's a lot of like direct Middle East immigration that occurs in Minnesota, which is very cool. But also a lot of the famine ships from Ireland went directly to Minnesota, like all of those immigrants. So there's like a very large Irish immigrant population. Same thing with like oh my god, where is it in Canada that has Newfoundland is also heavily Irish, which is why they sound like that. I mean, it's not entirely why they sound like that, but that's part of it. A lot of places that have quote unquote like funny, notable English accents, it's like, yeah, it's because there was a high population of Irish people there. Like, I don't know if I learned this on live, but like that was why it's why Liverpool has really interesting accents. It's because the Liverpool like port was very close to Ireland, and so a um bunch of Irish people moved to Liverpool, and then they all started sounding like funky English people, and then the Beatles came out of there. And Oasis, which their parents are Irish, so the Newfie accent's like very interesting. It's so fascinating to me. I think like I do enjoy a Canadian accent. I will say there's something that activated like I in general it doesn't happen a lot in heated rivalry, but when Shane says tour, when he says like, "Do you want a tour of the house?" Like I was like, "Yeah, there it is." He doesn't even say sorry that much, which is kind of surprising. Um, yeah. Oh, he does say past. Yeah. How does he? It's like it's not pasta. Like it's not a Jersey accent. It's something different than that. Oh, I should organize my clips. These are my screenshots of Shane's hoodie blazer combo, which I keep getting comments being like, I'm Gen Z and I think it's hot. And I'm like, yeah, because millennials had already invented it. Like coming after the generation that invented it doesn't mean that it's not unique to your generation. It's not unique to Gen Z to enjoy the look of a blazer hoodie combo because millennials had already come, like it was already in style. Whereas I was saying, Like it's a deeply millennial look because we're the ones who like came up with it. Like what? But everybody, I hate mentioning generations on the internet. Um, oh, that's fun. I honestly, I have like avoided learning anything about their personal lives because I'm just so scared of accidentally saying something um parasocial about him because I remember everything I've ever learned about everybody. And it will happen in an unfortunate way. Okay, we're gonna watch him say pasta, and then I probably have to go.
You want pasta from last night or hot dogs? Pork bones. Okay, they're gonna defrost a bit.
Can I just say, fucking nailed that timing. Didn't even listen to it beforehand. um, Very fun to hear both the pasta and the hot dogs in the same back and forth. Um, That makes sense. I mean, yeah, I feel like it, and the thing is, like, I think everybody should get to enjoy the way that they say things, like the way that they want to engage with actors and whatever. I have felt strict about it with myself in terms of my like public facing online persona, like stuff, because I really do want to create just at least one fandom space where you don't have to know anything about the actors in order to just like enjoy the show. Because I think as soon as actors come into it, as soon as real people come into it, it gets a lot more complicated. Um Particularly with how fans treat them, and like you talked about this person, not this person. Like I have had people get very weird with me about making more videos about Shane than Ilya. And I'm like, okay, like if you want more videos about Ilya, you should make your own videos. Like that is genuinely always my response. Is like you can make them. That would be fun for you, I think. But I will say one of the reasons I don't make more videos just about Ilya is because people get very I don't know. I get a lot of responses whenever I do. I get a lot of responses, both in comments and DMs, that are usually about suicide in a way that I can't handle. Like I can't handle graphic imagery around. Depending on the day, I don't want to even really bring it up in conversation. You know what I mean? I have my specific way that I handle my triggers around it. And when I talk about Ilya, I have gotten comments, I have gotten DMs that are like, here's the saddest headcanon I can come up with about his mother. What do you think? And I'm like, why? When did I invite that? How am I encouraging this? Like there, and it's not, I'm not, but they want to tell someone and they don't have someone else to tell or to share it with, I guess. And I really try to like empathize with that fact, but I'm like, I think it's so deeply inappropriate to send someone graphic imagery about suicide. Like just straight up point blank period. It doesn't matter if it's about a fictional character because what they're describing is like a little boy finding his mother. You know what I mean? Like people get so weird about like imagine Ilya in this probably triggered Ilya about suicide, and I'm like, I don't like that's not in the text, that's not in the narrative, that is in your head, which is fine, but it doesn't need to be in mine. And so like that is one of those things where I'm like, was there a reason that I was making fewer videos about this? And then I was like, yeah, and it's that. And like that's not like but also like it's not coming from people who are like, I want to hear your thoughts about the show. It's coming from people who are like, Connor is a better actor and deserves to have a bigger career. And I'm like, this is such a weird situation to put me in the middle of. Um yeah, like, the thing about it being in the show is that it's handled really gracefully, I would say. Like, overall, it's a big thing to go through, and that character, goes through it. So, like, I get why people wanna talk about it, but yeah, it's just I don't know. People don't have good boundaries, and I don't here's the other thing. I'm not really interested in teaching people how to be, like, better about that. Like I don't want to deal with the guilty response if I am honest about how what they've said made me feel. Cuz it's also not their like it's not my triggers are not their responsibility, but it is their responsibility to like know better than to send people deeply triggering things, you know? But like then me having to correct it means I have to continue opening that thread with that person. I have to deal with any guilt or like pushback that they're going to give me because there's two options they have at that point. They can like apologize, which very few of them do, or they can double down and go like, it's not a big deal, which is the weirdest response I got early on when I tried to be like, hey, by the way, just so you know, maybe not this ever again to anyone, but especially me. And they were kind of like, well, like you made a video about it. And I was like, no, I didn't. No, I did not. I made a video about the fire pit. I did not about their hands at the fire pit. I did not make a video about Ilya's mother's suicide. That's definitely not something I've ever done. Never talked about it. In fact, because I don't want to bring it up. Like, so anyway, I love making videos for the most part. I have had so much fun getting to know people and getting to hear other people's thoughts and find more connections. And like, it's been genuinely such a huge joy in my life to start doing this over the last few months. So like, I really do want to emphasize that. And I have never been more flabbergasted by what people are willing to say to other people than in the last few months, because people are out here being wild. All right, should we listen to Pasta one more time and then I'll really go? Actually, you know what? Let's just watch this because that's cute too.
You're cold. You want pasta from last night or hot dogs? Cold dogs. Okay. You're gonna have to defrost a bit.
Should we watch the make out? Let's watch the make out. I'm gonna get flagged just for this. No horror movie shot. Ah, your dad's behind you. Stop making out. Look, it's fine. If you pause right there, they don't know. Which is exactly what I do with tuna melt too. If you pause right after they say each other's names, what a hot scene. If you stay, what a devastating scene. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe I will go get a burger. Today is a day to enjoy myself because I'm not enjoying a lot of stuff right now. Okay. I'll probably be back later doing more work, and maybe even writing the hands essay if I feel like a creative output is necessary today. Thank you all for hanging. Thanks for having this conversation with me. This was so fun. At some point, I I'm like, it makes sense that a lot of us also watch Dropout. So at some point, maybe I'll do a video about Dropout. 'Cause it's a good time. I also at some point will get my shit together and make long form and all of that. So stay tuned. I'll try to be better about announcing the lives, but I've said that every single time and I've never done it. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope you get one if you want one. Oh, that's true. I haven't even talked about that, which is funny and also deeply, I'm like, would we call Dropout spiritually Canadian? It does kind of have that vibe. There's certain things that like so I want to talk. Yeah, I'm so curious. Okay, great. I'm so bad at leaving, so I got to Irish exit. But I hope everyone has a great rest of your evening or morning or night, depending on where you are in the world, because we're so international around here. And I'll talk.